Coming up on DITV, we'll tell you how climate change has been affecting Iowa City.
And later, we'll tell you how one Iowa City bike shop feels about the RAGBRAI announcement.
Head coach Fran McCaffrey gives you all you need to know about Iowa's matchup tonight against Minnesota.
And Iowa baseball is back and was able to benefit from the warm weather last week. We have more coming up.
Is it warm? Is it cold? I have the answers for you in this week's weather.
All that and more coming your way on this Tuesday morning edition of DITV.
It's all starting right now.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Christopher Cervantes.
And I'm Alexis Tansey.
New Jersey Republican Representative Rodney Frelinghuysen has announced his retirement. The chairman of the House Appropriations Committee has decided to not seek re-election. Frelinghuysen said in a statement today, quote, "Today, as I announce my retirement at the end of the session of Congress, I want to use the opportunity to strongly encourage the many young people I meet to consider public service."
On Monday, President Donald Trump swore in his new healthcare chief, Alex Azar. Azar is a former top drug company executive. While prescription drug prices were raised during his former role, Azar hopes that his new job will allow him to lower prescription prices.
Unusual weather patterns have been affecting Iowa City. DITV News reporter Maxwell Bernstein has more.
According to Climate Central, an organization dedicated to researching and reporting facts on climate change, 2017 was the hottest year without an El Niño boost. An El Niño is a fluctuation of sea temperatures in the Pacific equator that happens every few years or so. The reason this was the hottest year without an El Niño boost was because of the climate changing. I talked to Professor Matthew Hill, a professor of anthropology at the University of Iowa, to ask him what the cause of climate change is.
Today, our biggest human impact on climate is creating global warming through the release of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane.
I traveled to Professor Dr. Robert Moutel's house, a professor in physics and astronomy at the University of Iowa, to explain what impacts carbon dioxide has on the environment.
Carbon dioxide traps the heat which is re-radiated from the surface of the Earth. So we call that a greenhouse effect because the idea is that the carbon dioxide is transparent to visible light, but the infrared light, the heat which is re-radiated from the surface of the Earth, is trapped by these gases.
It increases often precipitation, especially in the form of severe storms, and that has effects of flooding and erosion.
People need to be concerned. They need to be voting with knowledge of climate change. They need to be asking politicians.
For more information on climate change, check out climatecentral.com. Reporting in Iowa City, I'm Maxwell Bernstein, DITV News.
Thanks, Maxwell. Alexis, I just got to ask, speaking of unusual weather patterns, what exactly is going on in Iowa City? Last week it's sunny. This week I slipped on ice walking to work this morning.
Chris, I totally get you. It has been so cold lately, but I, for one, am ready for warm weather. Let's toss it over to Jahisha in the weather studio to find out if that is ever going to happen. Jahisha?
Thanks, guys. Well, I do hope everyone was able to enjoy that breath of sunshine for at least a second as the cold weather has come back with a vengeance. As we do enjoy that last warmish weather with about 36 degrees leading into about 31 degrees at night. And then looking at our extended forecast, try and grab as much warm weather as you can, as Wednesday we hit about 44 degrees before we plummet to a chilly 12 degrees at night. Then we start to see some fluctuation in the week, as Thursday afternoon may present some sunshine, but we cannot be fooled as it is still a bitter 20 degrees before we hit 8 degrees in the night. And Friday is a tad warmer as we reach 28 degrees in the afternoon before lowering to about 23 degrees. Then as we head into the weekend, we grace some warm weather as we hit mid-30s Saturday afternoon before falling to a mere 7 degrees at night. Then make sure you wrap up warm, as on Sunday it is an unfriendly 15 degrees in the afternoon before decreasing to about 7 degrees in the evening. So my advice to everyone is wrap up warm, as the only result of fluctuating weather is a cold. Guys, have a fantastic weekend, and back to you.
Thanks, Jahisha. At the average of $2.58 per gallon, the national gas price is 4 cents more expensive than the average across the country. Motorists have seen pump prices increase as much as 9 cents in the last week. For the state of Iowa, gas prices are 10 cents more expensive than they were last month, while being 30 cents more expensive than this time last year. This has been the largest increase Iowa has ever seen.
This summer, RAGBRAI will be stopping in Iowa City for the first time since 1976. The cyclists have biked through Iowa City in past years, but this will be the first overnight stop in 42 years. RAGBRAI stopped in Coralville in 2015 and brought in close to $1 million in revenue. Now Iowa City will have the chance to host almost 10,000 tired and hungry cyclists. We spoke with Jeff Perrell, the owner of Jeff's Bike and Ski Shop, who said Iowa City is ready to take on this challenge.
Community together, not only in Iowa City, but in Iowa. I would say it is, something that it drives the culture and the whole experience for someone that's done RAGBRAI. They're going to do it again, and they're going to keep kind of involving friends and family to come along with them year after year.
Sorry about those technical difficulties, but Chris, RAGBRAI will be so much fun for Iowa City this summer. Will you be joining in on all the action?
Alexis, I think I might if they let me use training wheels.
I don't think they'll let you do that. Maybe we should just leave it up to the professionals.
Well, while you may have to wait till summer for all your RAGBRAI fun, you have to wait no longer for news on Hawkeye baseball. Let's toss over to Bo and Will in the sports studio where they have more.
That's right, guys. Iowa basketball season finally coming to a wrap, and thank God it's not been pretty. Thank God for Iowa baseball.
Yeah, 2-8, 13th in the Big Ten. Not great year this year for Iowa basketball.
Nope. We'll have more on that later. Let's start off with some baseball. Iowa baseball is back. The reigning Big Ten tournament champions took advantage of the warm weather last week and held their first outdoor practice of the year. They're welcoming back some of their top guns with Tyler Cropley, Matt Hoig, Austin Guzzo, Mitch Bowe, Chris Whalen, and Robert Newstrom, who was named preseason Big Ten Player of the Year by Perfect Game USA. And is also the 74th best prospect in Division I baseball's top 100 college prospect list for the 2018 MLB Draft.
The team also announced their 6 captains yesterday, which Newstrom was an obvious choice to lead the team, along with pitcher Nick Allgaier, pitcher Kyle Shim, catcher Tyler Cropley, and outfielder Chris Whalen. Here is what catcher and go-to designated hitter Austin Guzzo had to say on starting their season in the 54-degree weather they got last week.
It's an awesome time. I think all of us were itching to finally get out here, just to start practice at least, and to be able to come out here in the winter time out on the field in 54-degree weather. It's pretty exciting. Just kind of helps that vibe a little bit. I think it's awesome. I think it definitely helps our pitchers and our fielders definitely the most. We've been doing live at bats inside for every year I've been here so far, and it's the first time being able to come out here before and kind of have a real feel before we head down to Florida and start the first game. So I think it'll be a huge advantage for us, especially out here right now, to be able to do this. I think it'll benefit us a lot. I think we'll be steps ahead going forward the next 3 weeks.
The team will open up their season in Florida Friday, February 16th. So tune in next Friday for Mary Kate Herring and Zach Mackey, who will break down all you need to know about the 2018 Hawkeyes. Now, Iowa wrestling fell to Michigan this weekend, but one lone bright spot was freshman phenom Spencer Lee. DITV's Justin Elsner has more on the start of the Spencer Lee era of Iowa wrestling.
Since January 5th, when one Hawkeye wrestler burned his red shirt, he has been making a name for himself on the national level. Within the first 46 seconds of his debut, true freshman Spencer Lee pinned Rayvon Foley of Michigan State, giving the Hawkeyes an early lead in a dual meet which they would end up winning 49-6.
If we don't do this, the next time you compete is going to be, at the Pat Flash Flanagan Open. I'm not sure that for a guy that what you've accomplished already, that's the best path. And he was on the same page right away. So this path is definitely the path that he needs, and that was the thought process.
Expectations were high for Lee coming to Iowa after being a 3-time state champion in the state of Pennsylvania. In his senior campaign, though, Lee suffered a torn ACL, which he is still recovering from.
I'm not sure how I envisioned this first year. I was more worried about getting my knee healthy and everything than, everything that's going on right now. So that was kind of the main focus then. But, I'm glad everything's, going well, and I'm hopefully to continue to keep on improving.
The national spotlight got even brighter on January 21st when Lee handed the #1 ranked Nathan Tomasello his first loss of the season.
It just, I guess it shows that I'm right there, right?
Since then, doubts about his ability have been pushed to the side, and many now view him as a true national title contender. The Hawkeyes will have a chance to bounce back after dropping 2 meets this Friday, February 2nd, as they will face the Minnesota Golden Gophers. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, I'm Justin Elsner, DITV Sports.
Lee's next test will come Friday against number 6 Ethan Lysak of Minnesota.
The Iowa women's basketball team played the Nebraska Cornhuskers Sunday at home after coming off a huge win against number 12 ranked Ohio State. But the momentum, unfortunately, did not come with them. However, one bright spot kept Iowa alive on Sunday.
The women's basketball team experienced a tough loss against Nebraska. Megan Gustafson scored 26 points total in the game. Megan also pulled down her 10 boards and 5 blocks to receive her 20th double-double of the season against Nebraska. This has also been her 47th of her career.
We need to keep that going, having that leadership and making sure the team knows that we can still do great things coming into this. I mean, we just beat the number 12 team in the nation, and so just remembering those really good highs, but also learning from those bad lows.
Her leadership has been shown throughout this season by being named the Big Ten Player Honor Roll this week for the 11th time this season.
We didn't stop fighting, and that's what I would expect out of my players, and that's what you want out of your players, but that's what we got. They did not stop fighting. I thought Doyle left every ounce of energy out on the floor that she had. I thought Megan continued to battle in there. I thought Mac worked hard in there.
Even though the Hawks didn't play as well as they should have, they still remained playing as a team and did not stop their fight until the end. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this has been Nicole Tomasic with DITV Sports.
Unfortunately, the Hawks fell to the Huskers 92-74, but kept their focus throughout the entire game, with even coming back in the second half strong as ever. The Hawkeyes play at Michigan State on Thursday. Tip-off is set for 5 p.m. Central Time from the Breslin Center.
Now the men's basketball team is trying to get their 3rd win of conference play tonight against Minnesota, who's sitting at 14-9. Here's what head coach Fran McCaffrey and starting point guard Jordan Bohannon had to say about the Gophers.
One of the things that's impressed me is Murphy. I mean, he's having a spectacular season. I mean, player of the year kind of numbers. He just does more. He's got a little more room. They went small recently, which was effective, but they can still go big with, Kanate or Jeju. So they've still got some flexibility, but I think, like I said, the space that Murphy has now to go to work, and he just kind of stepped his game up since Lynch has been out.
Obviously, they have a really good point guard with Nate Mason, and obviously they have dominant posts down low. He's averaging double-double right now, which is pretty impressive, the numbers he's been putting up. So, but they run a lot of ball screen offense, so we got to be able to handle that. Hopefully, we just get out in the transition like we have been. We haven't really had a problem scoring points the past couple games, so. We just have to continue to do that and just get some stops down, whether that's trying to limit their paint. Obviously, Mason's going to try to get in the paint, get down to the big guys and stuff like that. And obviously, he's coming out of a big game. I think he had 29-9 last game against Northwestern. So we just got to limit him and try to limit their rebounding, because obviously they've got a lot of posts down low as well.
Tip-off is set for 8:07 inside of Carver Hawkeye Arena and will be broadcast on Big Ten Network.
Tune in tomorrow. We'll give you highlights from Iowa's matchup with Minnesota.
That's it for us. Back to you guys at the desk.
That's all we have for you on this Tuesday morning edition of DITV. I'm Christopher Cervantes.
And I'm Alexis Tanzi. We'll see you back here tomorrow, Iowa City.